I'm Mark Tilley and welcome back to Dirtbike Magazine's video series, Year 23, where we give you in-depth looks at all the 2023 motocross models available in the US today. Today, it's 450 edition, and we're looking at the 2023 Honda CRF450R. Now this bike actually got some significant changes for 2023. Yeah, there's a couple different versions of it. We're testing the 50th anniversary version. When it comes to actual differences in performance or anything like that, this isn't one of those kind of bikes. It's got different colors. It's got the old school gold rims, it's got gold handlebars, and it's got a blue seat cover with the 50th anniversary edition custom graphics. So there isn't any difference between this and the standard model that comes with black rims, standard colored handlebars, and the regular color of the seat. Like we said, this bike did get some changes for 2023. Big changes with some technical updates, including a narrower intake port shape, a longer intake funnel, revised cam profile, and the big deal, the smaller throttle body. What they're trying to do is get it to have a smoother power, not have a really abrupt power right off the bottom. The frame got increased rigidity in places, and then they took away rigidity in places, trying to get a more planted feel all the way around. Another thing that they changed when it comes to the frame is the engine hangers. They went from aluminum engine hangers to steel engine hangers, maybe trying to get a little bit more flex out of it because it is a thinner hanger now, so there might be a little bit more flex in those. We'll be able to tell a little bit more after we ride it. The suspension got updated settings, and then the muffler, Honda designed it to be quieter than previous models. If you want all the in-depth specs, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com. We're gonna go ride this thing. So we did it a little bit different this time. We actually got more than just one day of riding. In the video, you'll see test rider Justin Jones riding the bike, but then I got to actually jump on the bike the very first day, and then we got to do multiple days of riding because we've had this bike for a couple weeks now, and we were under embargo, so we couldn't talk about it. So we got to go to multiple tracks, multiple test riders were riding it. Justin Jones is 6'10", it seems like. I'm 5'11", 6 foot. We're about the same weight, and then we had some of our older test riders on staff ride it. We had some of our younger test riders ride it. So we got a pretty good variety of riders this time, and we all kind of came away with a setting that works for us. This bike is really, really sensitive to balance. And when I say balance, that could be like Justin Jones likes to ride it at 102 millimeters of sag because he's kind of over the back of the bike a little bit more, and then when he wants to come forward, he steers a little bit different. I'm more in a neutral riding position and then maybe a little bit over the bars. So my sag that I like is between 105 and 108 depending on track conditions. I will slow down the rebound in the back just so that I have a kind of more of a dead feel in the back. That's kind of how I like my bikes. So we did a lot of testing with different settings, and when the bike was unbalanced, like maybe too soft in the front, stiff in the rear, the bike got uneasy really quick. But if we made the front stiff and the rear stiff, the bike kind of stayed to where it didn't get uneasy that fast. So the balance is really key to this motorcycle. All the stuff that they did, the biggest thing we noticed is it's way easier to control now with the smaller throttle body. There isn't that hit right away that unsettles you right out of a corner or messes up the cornering. It's a lot easier to control. control. We still do get a little bit of a moving around of the chassis. It just takes a little bit longer now to make that chassis move around. So it gets you a little bit more confidence entering corners, coming out of corners, but in long straightaways and really fast straightaways, this bike still does kind of unsettle and, you know, kind of have the same tendencies as the previous years. The one thing, if you do own this motorcycle, this bike is really sensitive to clicker adjustments. 1, 2, 3 adjustments, you feel it right away. Not all bikes are that way. This bike is that way. You do a couple clicks here and a couple clicks there, and you will be able to notice the difference. So don't go cranking in on stuff not expecting to see a difference, because it'll be night and day. The average person will be able to tell those differences. Honda returns with the big on-the-fly map switch that has traction control in it. It has the kill button in it. It has the on-the-fly to where you can access those other maps. Personally, I like the standard map. It's not too aggressive. If I want a little bit more power out of the bike, I can kind of clutch it a little bit. Less aggressive map, I felt like I had to clutch it maybe a little bit too much, and I relied on it a little bit too much. And then when I was doing that, then I got Popeye arm, and then now you get arm pump and all that stuff. The aggressive map, a little bit too much oomph right out of the corners for me, but not a huge difference between the standard map and the aggressive map. I found myself, if I rode the bike and kind of throttled it around and used the throttle to kind of get through stuff rather than metering it with the clutch, as soon as I started using the clutch a lot, it kind of upset the bike and it didn't have that flow to it. So again, this is a good step in the right direction for Honda. More riders across the board felt comfortable on the bike and felt comfortable on the bike right away. Will it be enough to change its ranking in the shootout? We don't know. We still have a bunch more bikes to get, but it's going to be very interesting this year. We do have word that there's an all-new Yamaha YZ450 coming. Although we did get a lot more testing in before you guys are seeing our videos, we still plan on doing a lot more testing on this motorcycle before it hits the shootout. We had experienced some testing with other offset triple clamps. We did a 23.5, I believe, from Ride Engineering, and a lot of people like that. If you notice, during Supercross this year, the factory guys were doing a lot of moving around of engine mounts and triple clamps and bar mounts and all kinds of different stuff. So we're gonna kind of go down that same road and see what we come up with. So if you got a little bit more time on your hands and you want to check out some other 2023 450 videos, hit the video thumbnail now. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything that we're doing and all of our latest releases, whether it be 2-stroke, 4-stroke, brand new bikes, project bikes, we got it all. Hit that subscribe button.